Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone and welcome to my presentations. My name is Zalfa Arifah and I'm from class 4B. And in this video, I will present 10 research articles related to self-directed learning or SDL in English as a foreign language learning. In today's digital era, students can learn English through various technologies such as podcasts, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and many other digital tools. However, an important question remains: how can these technologies help students become independent learners? So this question is the main focus on the 10 article that I selected. Although each article discusses different technologies and learning approaches, they all explore how self-directed learning can improve students' motivations, engagement, autonomy, and learning outcomes. Let's begin with the first article. The first article is entitled "The Role of Podcast Creations in Supporting Motivations and Self-Directed Learning Among EFL College Students, an Actions Research Study," written by Pei-Ling Yang in 2025. And this study investigates how podcast creation support motivations and self-directed learning among EFL students. The findings show that students become more active and responsible because they need to plan, write, record, and edit their own podcasts. The main benefit is that podcast creations improve speaking skill, confidence, creativity, and learner autonomy simultaneously. However, the study involved a relatively small number of participants, and many students didn't complete the project. Overall, this article demonstrates that students learn more effectively when they actively create content rather than simply consume information. And the second article is entitled "Examining the Impacts of Virtual Reality or VR on Self-Directed Learning in EFL, a Mixed Method Study" by Panji Tanasur, Sonia Octavia, and Dedi Aprianto in 2025. This study examines how virtual reality influences self-directed learning. The researchers found that VR significantly increases motivations, engagement, flexibility, and learner independence. The major benefit of VR is its ability to provide immersive and realistic learning experience. Students become more engaged because they feel directly involved in the learning environment. However, VR technology is expensive and may not be accessible to all institutions. Compared to podcast creations, VR offers a different pathway towards self-directed learning by increasing engagement through immersive experience. And the third article is entitled "The Impact of Self-Directed Learning on Academic Writing Skills of EFL Learners with Critical Thinking Ability," written by Zahra Maryam, Sazuliana Sanif et al. In 2025. The the study investigates the relationship between self-directed learning, critical thinking ability, and academic writing skill. The findings indicate that students with stronger self-directed learning and critical thinking skills tend to perform better in academic writing. One major strength of this article is its strong statistical analysis. These articles highlight that successful self-directed learning requires not only technology but also critical thinking and personal responsibility. The fourth article is entitled "The Effectiveness of the Blended Productions-Oriented Approach in Enhancing EFL Learners' Self-Directed Learning Skills" by Ying Liu, Nasri, and Norman in 2025. This study examines how blended learning combined with the production-oriented approach can improve self-directed learning skills. The results show improvements in motivation, planning strategy use, and self-evaluations. The main benefit is that students receive both the flexibility of online learning and the guidance of face-to-face interactions. However, the research was conducted with a limited number of students. This article suggests that technology is most effective when combined with meaningful teaching strategies. And the fifth article is entitled "Indonesian EFL Students' Use of Technologies for Self-Directed Learning in Accomplishing Academic English Writing Tasks," written by Joseph Breen and Christine Manara in 2024. This study focused on how students use technology to support academic writing. The findings revealed that digital tools help students find information, organize ideas, and improve writing quality. The benefit is that technology enables students to work more independently. However, the sample size was relatively small. This article is particularly relevant because many students regularly use tools such as Google Docs, Grammarly, and online dictionaries in their learning process. The sixth article is entitled Self-Directed Extensive Reading with Social Support: Effect on Reading and Learning Performance of High and Low English Proficiency Students by Hyung Lee and Hierarchy Ogata in 2025. The researchers investigate how planning, monitoring, reflections, and discussions forum participations influence reading performance. The findings show that reading engagement significantly improves learning outcomes. A major strength of the study is its detailed statistical analysis. However, the participants come from specific educational settings. This article demonstrates that self-directed learning doesn't mean learning alone because social interaction still contributes to success. The seventh article is entitled The Role of Artificial Intelligence Tools in EFL Teachers' Passions for Self-Directed Professional Development, written by Nasun and Yi Han-sun in 2025. Unlike the previous studies, this article focuses on teachers. The findings reveal that AI helps teachers access resources, reduce workload, encourage reflections, and improve teaching creativity. The benefit is that teachers can continue learning independently throughout their careers. However, the study involved only 34 teachers and relied mainly on interviews. This article broadens our understanding of self-directed learning by showing that it is important for both students and educators. The eighth article is entitled The Role of Changes in Pronunciation's Ability and Anxiety Through Gain AI on EFL Learners, Self-Directed Speaking Motivations, and Social Interactions Confidence, written by Hyu Young Choi in 2024. The study examines how generative AI affects pronunciation, speaking anxiety, motivations, and confidence. The findings show that AI feedback improves pronunciations while reducing anxiety and increasing confidence. The benefit is that learners receive immediate and personalized feedback. However, the study involved only 15 participants and lasts for a short period. This article suggests that AI can become a valuable learning partner when used appropriately. The ninth article is entitled Unlocking the Potential in a Gamification-Based Book, Assessing Autonomous Learning and Self-Directed Learning Behaviors by Slamet Bastomi, Inforn, and Eliana in 2024. This study explores the impact of gamifications on self-directed learning. The researchers found that features such as rewards, quizzes, and leaderboard increase motivation, engagement, and responsibility. The main benefit is that gamifications makes learning more enjoyable and encourage students to participate actively. However, much of the data comes from self-reported responses. This article highlights the importance of motivations in supporting self-directed learning. The final article is entitled Supporting Students Self-Directed Learning in AFL Speaking Classroom by Using CAKE Applications, written by Industri Rezeki and Muhajir in 2022. This study examines how the CAKE applications support independent speaking practice. The findings indicate that the applications help students improve pronunciations, vocabulary, and grammar while increasing confidence. Its main advantage is flexibility because students can practice anytime and anywhere. However, the study lasts only 1 week, making it difficult to evaluate long-term effectiveness. The findings suggest that simple and accessible technologies can effectively support self-directed learning. After reviewing all 10 articles, several important themes emerged. First, technology consistently increases motivations and engagements, whether through podcasts, virtual reality, AI, MOOCs, or mobile applications. Learners become more active participants in the learning process. Second, self-directed learning develops when learners are given opportunities to make decisions about their own learning. They learn how to plan, monitor, evaluate, and improve their performance independently. And third, technology alone is not enough. Critical thinking, reflection, social support, and meaningful learning activities remain essential for successful learning outcomes. In conclusions, all 10 articles demonstrate that self-directed learning plays a crucial role in EFL educations. Technology can support learners in becoming more autonomous, motivated, and successful, but learners themselves remain the most important factors in the learning process. By taking responsibility for their learning and effectively available technologies, students can achieve better academic and language learning outcomes. Thank you for watching these presentations. I hope it has provided a deeper understanding of how self-directed learning and technology can work together to improve English language learning. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.